Hello everyone, we are here to our part 2 of the Intro to Bookkeeping. Our objectives of this lesson is at the end of this lesson you should be able to identify the users of accounting information, internal or external, explain accounting periods and the preparations of financial statements, differentiate the forms of business organizations and types of business activities. Okay? Now, we have here accounting periods. An accounting period is any length of time for which financial statements are prepared. We already discussed about financial statements, and the financial statements are the one that measures the health of the businesses. Now, when we're talking about financial statements, we have four major financial statements. We have statement of comprehensive income or income statement. We have statement of financial position or balance sheets. We have statement of changes in equities, and we also have statement of cash flow. But the question is, after all preparing these financial statements, the question is, when do we prepare it? Kailan po natin piniprepare ito? Okay? Again, there are people who use this financial statements not just inside the companies but also outside of the companies. Now, the question is, when do we prepare it? So it depends on the company itself. It depends on also the what you call this usually the provisions of your own countries, but usually piniprepare siya quarterly or paminsan din meron siyang annual for mga big businesses. Okay? For businesses that prepare financial statements kada month, so this is called monthly basis. You also have 3 months, which is quarterly basis, 6 months, semi-annual basis, and 12 months, which is annual basis. Okay? So again, when we're talking about accounting periods, this is the length of time for which financial statements are prepared. Kailan ba piniprepare yung financial statements natin? Now, Now, when a business chooses a 12-month period, it still needs to decide when the year starts and ends. So this is what we call the accounting year. So no matter what period you are in, kung monthly basis ba or quarter basis or semi-annual basis or annual basis, you have to choose on what type of 12-month period will you choose. And one thing that we are choosing is between two. It's either calendar year or fiscal year. So ano-ano ang mga ito? Okay? Una, we have calendar year. You choose that the starting of your accounting year will begin in terms of the calendar. So, ano bang beginning ng calendar? January 1. So, let's say for example, January 1, 2025 hanggang December 31, 2021. At 2025. So, ito yung usual na tawag dito o common sa mga businesses based talaga sa calendar year. But there are people who doesn't use calendar year and who choose to opt another kind of what we call this year. Okay, again, when we're talking about accounting year, it's still a 12-month period. Okay, 12 months pa rin siya, nakaiba lang siya sa months kung kailan mo gustong mag-start at mag-end yung year mo. Okay? The first and the most common one is the calendar year, which is January 1, 2025 to December 31, 2025. So, yun yung pa-example. Example lang to. So, nakabasa siya doon sa mismong calendar. Now, when we're talking about fiscal year, it doesn't go with the usual calendar year. It goes at still 12 months period pa rin siya. It covers 12-month period. So for example, this is June 1, 2025 and mag-e-end siya ng May 30, 2026. So exacto na fiscal year. So one of examples under the fiscal year why they're doing this is the natural business year. The natural business year is ending the accounting period when the business is lowest or after peak seasons. So financial reports are more accurate and meaningful. So let's say for example, another example is February 1, 2025 and January 30, 2026. Okay, some people don't opt to choose for calendar year. Kasi gane, ano ba yung common pag calendar? Ano bang common pag December? 'Di ba common pag December? sobrang dami ng mga taong bumibili. So, sobrang dami ng mga kliyente, ng mga customer natin. So, mataas talaga yung sale dyan. Kasi nga, from bonuses, sa noon nun, daming bonuses. So, madaming pera ang mga tao during that time. So, dagdagan natin, it's a Christmas season and New Year. So, madaming binibili. So, pag ganyang month, mataas talaga. So, doble kayod and dobleng energy pa talaga for those people who are in accounting. Kasi pagka December, pag year end na ng year, doble pasakit to sa kanila. Okay? Busy na yung mga tao, rush hour, traffic. So, pag end of year talaga, grabe yan. Kasi, hindi po basta-basta yung prepare ng financial statements which is needed for the government itself and everything. So, kailangan mo mag-backtrack, hindi mabalanse. So, kailangan hindi nila mag-o-opt ng ganito kasi nga madami nang ginagawa during that time. So, ang iba ay hindi ko to gagawin ng December kasi sobrang dami ng mga tao. So, ibig sabihin sobrang dami ng customer or ng mga clients at dagdagan pa yung pag-prepare ko ng financial statements and other things during the calendar year. So, ang mas gusto nila, not focusing on more on accounting or more on preparing financial statements but more on operations na lang. Mas gusto nila ay January 30 na lang ako gagawa ng financial statement for the year kasi mas okay to kaysa naman doon sa ginagawa nating calendar year. So mas okay siya. So hindi ko sinasabi na January 5 to January 30. So, nakadepende yan sa company. Pwede nilang ibase based on the business activity. Okay? Magtatapos siya sa pinaka-lowest or after peak season, gaya nga ng ginawa natin, na right after December, January 30 na lang sila gumawa ng yung fiscal year nila mag-end kaysa naman gumawa sila doon ng calendar year. Okay? I hope it makes clear. As you all know again about the financial statements, which is a measurement of financial health of the businesses, that the question is, who uses these accounting datas? So, ano yung accounting datas? Those are the financial numbers. And one of the accounting datas na introduce ko na sa inyo is yung financial statements natin. And who uses this accounting datas? Sino gumagamit ng mga ganito? Sino gumagamit ng mga prepare namin na financial statements? Okay, very shallow pa lang, very generalized pa lang yung diniscuss natin about sa financial statements pero hindi muna tayo mag-go doon isa-isa kasi before tayo gumawa ng financial statements, kailangan muna nating dumaan sa mga butas ng karayom. I don't know if that's the right word for that. So, hindi tayo basta-basta pupunta doon sa financial statements kapag hindi natin alam paano critical thinking, analyze yung mga events, so analyze transactional, non-accountable or accountable events. So we need to understand what are the things that need to be considered. Okay, these are the things that need to be considered and we need to follow procedures before going on to the financial statements part. Now the question is, yes sir, palagi mong binabanggit yung financial statements. Para kanino to? Gumagawa lang ba tayo dito kasi gusto lang natin gumawa para sa business, para titignan lang? Hindi po. Hindi lang po ang business ang gumagamit ng accounting data natin, like yung financial statements. These are also being used by other people outside of the companies. So, who uses accounting data? The financial information that users needs depend upon the kinds of the decisions they make. Okay? Now, so the users of accounting informations is divided into two major groups. So if directly involved in managing the business, if directly involved siya, if the answer of this is yes, directly involves, okay, ang tawag na or hindi siya directly involved, ang tawag doon sa mga, let me give my laser points, ang tawag sa mga directly involved sa business. Okay? Ang tinatawag nila doon ay internal users. So, gumagamit ng mga accounting informations or accounting datas. Okay, again, pag sinasabi kong accounting information, accounting datas, so isa sa mga na-discuss natin dito ay yung financial statements, again, which measures the health or the financial health of the businesses. Okay, again, we have different types of financial statements that we have already been tackled, but not onto that very particular level. Okay, so if the businesses involves directly in managing, if it's directly involved in managing the business, ang gumagamit po ng accounting informations ay ang internal users. It means it is being used by the people inside the company itself. Sino-sino bang inside the company? So this can be the CEO, this can be the board of directors, this can be the employees, this can be the accountant inside of the companies. Now, if there are people that are directly involved, okay, if you answer this yes, internal users, if there are people that is not directly involved in managing the business, kung ang answer mo ay no, gagamitin pa rin yung accounting informations ng business. So, sinong gumagamit ng accounting informations ng business na outside of their scope, so outside of the business itself. So, gumagamit ng piniprepare nating financial statements, again, are not just internal users, but also the external users. So, mamaya malalaman nyo bakit ginagamit ng external users. And the external users here are those people that part of the government itself, those that are the banks, the creditors, the stakeholders, and those who wanted to invest in your businesses or the shareholders. Okay, these are the people that needs to look at your accounting informations. Okay, later on, again, I will tell you what are the questions they're asking and why do they actually need it. Okay. So again, lahat po nagre-record natin will all go through sa pagtatapos ng financial statements. At the end of this, you must have to prepare financial statements. Again, one of the major group of people that use your accounting informations are the internal users. Internal users of accounting are managers who plan, organize, and run the business. This includes marketing managers, production supervisor, finance directors, and company officers. In running a business, internal users must answer many important questions. Business owner who directly involves, board directors, manager, personnel, employees, the owners. So here, these are the questions that are being asked by internal users. Okay. Pag tinitignan nila yung financial statements, ang mga questions nila, first is in terms of finance. Is cash sufficient to pay dividends to Microsoft holders? Yung pera ko ba, yung cash ko ba, sapat ba na paipangbabayad sa mga tao na who invest in my company? Okay. For marketing department, what price should Apple charge for an iPad to maximize the company's net income? So, ibig sabihin, magkano ba yung dapat na ibebenta ko para sa isang iPad for it to be able to maximize the company's net income? And third is the human resources. Kaya ko bang bigyan ng raise ang mga employee ko for this particular year? Kasi grabe na. Sobrang tagal na yung ng mga minimum wage tapos hindi ko pa talaga pinapataas yung tawag dito o yung minimum wage ng mga is it time for me? So yun, you have to go on for your financial statements. And not just on the finances, marketing, human resource, and it's also go with the management. When you look at the financial statements, you can also see that okay pala between snack chips and beverages, pag tawag dito o um, pag beverages pala mas mabenta pala siya kapag tuwing summer kasi nga sobrang init, or snack chips kapag tawag dito o kapag maulan. Bakit nag-snack chips ba tayo kapag maulan? So anyways, nakalagay lang kasi dito. Anyways, so they can see the trend. So they can see the trend of which part of the products are most saleable for the particular period or for the whole period. And with that, they can manage to have predictions. They can, what you call this, adjust their marketing sides and have meaningful informations based on the numbers. Again, numbers is not just is only just numbers if you cannot actually interpret it. So numbers is useless, number is futile if you cannot interpret. Think critically and use these numbers. So if you don't know your numbers, if you don't understand your number, you don't know your businesses. Businesses ang dami. Although, okay. Now, other side of the internal aside from internal users, this is being done by external users. External users are individuals and organizations outside the company who want financial information about the companies. Hala, ganun pala. Hindi lang pala yung kami ang gumagamit mismo ng financial statements namin or financial informations. Ginagamit pala ito ng mga ibang tao. So there are two major groups for external users, and these are the investors and the creditors. So for the investors, they need information to help determine whether they uh, should buy, hold, or sell. So dito, tinitignan kung ako ang investor, so tinitignan ko for example, let's say Coke. So ako, titignan ko yung financial statements ng Coke and other relevant financial informations kung bibili ba ako ng mga stocks nila. Okay? So, okay. Hindi pala maganda yung performance ngayon ng Coke for how many years? So, hindi ako pangit. At tingnan ko, ayoko ng ganito kasi nga, based on their financial statements, ganito, ganyan, ganyan. So, hindi kaaya-aya yung number. Okay? So, it depends on how critical you are. So, you need to understand the numbers itself. Pero, there are people who doesn't do it, who do it in an ethical way. So hindi naman natin dapat ginagawa ito. Kasi may mga ibang mga companies, mga kwento ng mga ibang companies, it is in real world na tinataas nila ang pinapaganda nila yung mga numbers ng business nila para mag-entice ng mga investor sa business. Kasi gani, para mas dumami yung mag-i-invest, which is mali, which is unethical, which is wrong. Okay? You can be liable for that. Nangloloko ka ng mga tao. Okay? There are also people na hindi pinapataas. Okay? Pinapababa nila yung mga ibang numbers, like just like in terms of sales, para makaiwas sila sa tax. Again, mali din yun. That's also unethical. That is wrong thing. That's a wrong thing to do, and you can be held liable for that. Okay, if you're a bookkeeper, you need to always think of this one. If pinapagawa sa inyo to ng company, hindi po to tama. Mali po ito. You have to distinguish if it's the right thing or the wrong thing, because yan, konsensya mo yan. Pangalawa, mali yan sa mata ng batas. Okay? So these are the external users, and one of the external users are the investors, and they need the informations for them to actually think kung magkano ba magkano ba dapat ang invest ko? Should I really invest in the first place? So I'm looking at the accounting information. So I'm looking at financial statements and other relevant data for me to be able to decide whether I will invest or not invest. Now, the second one is not just for investors but also for creditors. Now, there is the rest of the information which enables them to determine whether their loans and interest thereon will be paid when due suppliers and other trade creditors. So when we're talking about um, medium business, tawag dito, corporation, medium enterprises ba yung tamang term? Okay, anyways, mid to big businesses, wala po talagang mga businesses always on that particular level na walang utang. Meron talaga silang utang. That's impossible na walang utang. They are, okay, one thing, kung bakit dapat silang may utang, because it is impractical to do so, nagagamitin mo yung own money ng company. Kasi, there is a high risk also na malulugi kayo because you're using your own money. Paano pala kapag nalugi pa? Paano pala kapag nasayang siya? Hindi nag-click. So, 'di ba? Mas mababaon kayo sa utang. Pero hindi ko naman sinasabi na sobrang laki ng dapat iutang ninyo. You only have to calculate. So you have calculated risk before going on loans. Okay? Tinitignan din ng mga bangko yung financial statements ng company. Sample like BPI. Okay. Hmm. Tingnan ko daw yung itong lagyan na natin barbershop. Itong barbershop na to, naglo-loan, they're asking for a 1 million loan. Papahiramin ko ba sila? So the company will look at the credit history of that businesses, and also will look at the credit history, and will also look at the financial statements of the companies, and they will audit it. So hindi sila basta-basta what you call this, hiram ng pera without looking at the financial numbers, without looking at the accounting informations. Okay? So I hope that you get na yung financial statements or other accounting informations na piniprepare lang natin, hindi lang basta piniprepare lang siya just for the sake. There are people who use this for legal compliances. There are people who use this to think if they will what you call this, invest in the companies, or they will lend you money. Now, okay, the external users, example for this are the government agencies who will look at your financial statements. Kasi bakit? Bakit government agencies? Titingnan nila, tama ba ang ginawa ng ABC company sa paggagawa nila ng financial statements? Kasi dapat, hindi lang tayo record ng record. Bookkeeping record lang yan ng record. Hindi po. We're following certain procedures, accounting principles, certain procedures that we need to adhere in order for us to have proper record keeping and proper accounting. So, tinitignan nila kapag mali ang ginawa mo dyan, so mape-penalty ka, makukulong ka, you will be held liable. So, tinitingnan ng mga government agencies yun. Not just on getting the taxes, but also on your legal compliances. For customers, they're also looking at your accounting informations of whether they buy, and also the public, they are also interested in your financial statements because tingnan daw natin, are you responsible? Kasi ang trend kasi ngayon sa mga companies is whether you are into more sinusulong mo ba yung pagiging environmental, sinusulong mo ba or ini-adhere ba ng company yung environmental regulations? Kasi 'di ba very sensitive na yung mga world right now. I mean not the world, but us right now, because this is our earth. So what are you giving, not just for the sake of your own companies, but what are you also giving for the people, for the humanity? Kasi alam mo naman, dami na ngayon, for example, may mga big international companies that they are producing tons and tons of plastics every year. Ang daming, so hindi ko nababanggitin. So, and then, these plastics end up in the oceans, and it breaks down to microplastics. At sino bang kumakain ng plastics sa ocean? Sino? Mga isda. Sino kumakain ng isda? Tayo. So, this is very alarming. It's also very alarming for us, for me to think na maybe most of us already, based on studies, meron ng mga microplastics or nanoplastics inside our body. So, anyways, it's not just accounting, but that the effect of the things that we are doing right now should be, we should also be responsible. Okay? So, we have the questions earlier that being asked by the internal users. Now, we also have the question that being asked by the external users. So, the investors is General Electric earning satisfactory income? Okay. Kung ako ang investor, titingnan ko, malaki ba yung kinikita ngayon ng General Electric? Pag investors naman, how does the size Disney compare in size and profitability with Time Warner? So before ako magde-decide, kanino ba? Kay Disney ba or Time Warner? So I have the tendency to compare both of the financial statements between these two companies. Kasi nga, ayoko nang put all my eggs in one basket, all of this in two companies. So, mas gusto ko sa isang company lang, and then you need to be strategic with that. Creditors, will United Airlines, or lagi natin, will Cebu Pacific be able to pay its debt as they come due? Yung Cebu Pacific, they're asking for a loan from us. So, are they able to pay with the set deadline? So, titingnan nila yon, okay, before actually giving them the money. Now, we're already done with the internal users, the external users of accounting formations. We will now go through the forms of business organizations. Okay? This is always needed and it's important. Okay? We are now going to talk about the forms of business organization. Before starting a business, entrepreneurs must decide on the form of business organizations they will use. A form of business organization refers to the legal structure under which a business operates. It determines how the business is owned, managed, taxed, and how liabilities are shared among its owner. Bilang isang future bookkeepers, understanding the different forms of business organization is essential because accounting records, ownership's accounts, and reporting requirements may vary depending on the type of business. Here we have the four forms of business organization. We have first sole proprietorship, partnership, corporation, and cooperative. When we are talking about sole proprietorship, ang ibig sabihin nito ay isang tao ang nagmamay-ari ng business. One owner, easy to start, but the owner has unlimited personal liability. Ibig sabihin nito, kapag may utang yung business, may utang din siya. Okay? Ibig sabihin, again, damay ang kanyang mga personal na asset or ari-arian kapag, example, wala nang makuha doon mismo sa business niya. So one owner controls and manages the business. However, the owner and the business are legally considered the same. Magkapareho, magkaisa sila. One good thing here is kung ano ang kita ng business, sa kanya na rin yun. Okay? It is also easy to manage and mas less paperwork siya compare sa mga other forms of business organizations. At ang isang disadvantage nga, sinabi ko kanina, ang owner ay may unlimited liability. Ibig sabihin, again, kapag utang ng business, utang din ng owner. Halimbawa natin dito ay ang yung mga salon or barbershop, convenience store, or yung mga sari-sari store, pwede din yung mga clothing shop. Now, we will have partnership. A partnership is a business owned by two or more persons who agree to share profits and losses. We have here examples. Law firm or accounting firm. Dalawa or higit pa ang may nagmamay-ari or nagmamay-ari ng business. Advantage when it comes to partnership is that we have a better business decisions. Bakit? Kasi nga, there are two or more people na nag-iisip. So there are two or more brains na nag-iisip. So much better siya in terms of making decisions, in terms of making a financial decisions. Kasi nga, kailangan mo pa siyang i-consult ang other partners mo. Okay? However, making business decisions may also give rise to conflicts among partners. Since hindi lang ikaw ang may ari ng business, pwedeng may possibility na magkakaroon kayo ng hindi pagkakaintindihan kasi nagkakaiba yung opinion nyo. Okay? So that is one of the disadvantage. Going back to advantage, compared to corporations and cooperatives, partnership is easier to form because only a contractual agreement between the partners is needed. Now, for the disadvantages, there is a limited life. In the sense, kapag ang isa sa mga partner nyo ay either nag-withdraw, or nag-retire, or namatay, or nagkaroon ng insanity or incapacitated, ibig sabihin nito, madidissolve yung business ninyo. We now have corporation. A corporation is a business entity separate from its owner. In a very layman's term, ang ibig sabihin nito ay, yung business or organization is a separate legal entity compared to the owners. Ibig sabihin ng separate legal entity, it can act on its own, form contract on its own, and incur liabilities on its own. In the Philippines, we have three types of corporations. We have stock corporation, non-stock corporation, and we also have one-person corporation or OPC. Let's go to stock corporation first. A stock corporation is a business owned by its stockholders. Dito, the ownership of a business in a stock corporation is divided into shares of stocks. At kung sino man ang bibili ng mga shares of stocks na yun, ang tinatawag natin doon ay ang mga stockholders. Ang example nito ay ang San Miguel Corporation, SM, Globe, and many other, what you call this, stock corporation. The advantage of this one is that since madami nga, or I mean, pwede siyang i-divide into shares of stocks, so maaaring may mga mag-i-invest doon sa mismong business na yun or corporations, and they will become a part owner. One advantages do we have here is that owners have limited liabilities. Kung may utang man mismo ang business, hindi yun utang ng mga owners. And it also has continuous existence even if owners change. Kung papalit man ng owner, kung mamamatay man ng owner, or incapacitated or due to insanity, so ibig sabihin nito, it can still continue on its own kasi nga matatransfer lang din yung mga possessions doon mismo sa organization or doon mismo sa business. Okay? One disadvantage for this one is that it is more complex. Ibig sabihin, mas komplikado siya compare sa mga tawag natin dito of forms of business organizations. It is subject to more government regulations, kailangan ng more reporting and compliance, and decision-making may be slower kasi nga, hindi ka pwedeng mag-decide on your own. Kailangan yung decision mo should have an approval sa mga board of directors and mga partners mo doon mismo sa corporations. Now, we also have here non-stock corporation. When we're talking about non-stock corporation, this is basically a corporation not organized for profit, non-profit. Hindi nila motive ang magkaroon ng kita. So, bakit? Because it exists for a purpose and not for a profit. Therefore, there are no shares issued. Wala pong shares dito katulad ng regular stock corporations. Example for this one are the church, yung mga foundation or charity, or yung mga schools. Now, the advantages, let's go to advantages first is, again, it's separate legal entity from its members. And also, members have limited liabilities here. Kung may utang mismo, yung non-stock corporation, hindi damay doon yung business. I mean yung mga owners, di ba? Nabubulol ako. And it can receive donations and grants na walang tax. Okay. Hindi siya kakaltasan or hindi siya makakaltas ng tax katulad ng ibang mga organizations or businesses. Disadvantage for this one is that it cannot distribute profits to member kasi nga non-profit siya, and it must use funds only for its stated purposes. So, ibig sabihin, hindi mo pwedeng gamitin yung mga kita dito sa mga ibang purposes other than the purpose of your what you call this non-stock corporations. Now, we also have here one-person corporations. Ang one-person corporation is parang tawag natin dito evolved form ng tawag nating sole proprietorship. Okay? Another level or mas higher level ng sole proprietorship. Kasi nga, it acts as a corporation pero isa lang ang may-ari. When we're talking about one-person corporation, is a business entity in the Philippines with a single stockholder who also serve as an incorporator, director, and also as president. At meron nga tayong mga advantages dito or mga key characteristics. Let's go first for the single decision maker. Ibig sabihin nito, kapag nagdesisyon ang mismong stockholder or isa lang man ang stockholder dito, hindi niya na kailangan ng approval ng mga board of directors or ng mga partners niya. Second is, it also acts as a separate legal entity. Ibig sabihin, ang mismong business at ang single stockholder ay magkaibang entity. Third is perpetual existence. Ibig sabihin, kapag yung owner ay incapacitated or namatay, hindi madidissolve yung business. Pwede pa rin siyang i-transfer yung ownership sa ibang tao. Pang-apat, we also have here corporate credibility. Kapag kasi isa kang corporation, you are more trusted by investors and also by banks. Ibig sabihin, mas mabibigyan ka ng loan. Okay? And many other more perks of this one. We also have here limited liability. Since separate legal entity nga siya, kapag may utang mismo ang business, hindi pwedeng i-freeze ang assets mo or hindi pwedeng, what you call this, kukunin ang asset mo na para ibabayad doon mismo sa mga liabilities ng business kasi nga, separate legal entity sila. So, kung may personal assets ka, hindi siya madadamay. But the disadvantages for what you call this one person corporation is that the capital is only limited to owner's resources. Since hindi siya katulad ng stock corporations na madaming mga stockholders, dito, ikaw lang, single stockholder ka lang. And yung capital niya mismo ay limited only to your money, kung magkano lang ang ininvest mo. And the owner bears all management responsibilities and more complex requirements than a sole proprietorships. Okay? So, that's all for our one-person corporation and corporation. Now we have cooperative. A cooperative is also owned by more than one individual. However, a cooperative is formed in accordance with the provisions of the Philippine Cooperative Code of 2008. Ang mga nagmamay-ari ng cooperative ay tinatawag nating members. At galing sa root word na cooperate, a cooperative is an association of individuals who join together to contribute capital and cooperate in order to achieve certain goals. So, example for this one is that we have here the Philippine Mega Producers Cooperative or yung mga sometimes kasi katulad dito sa amin yung electric company ay cooperative. Okay? Now, the advantage of this one is that members are both owners and at the same time beneficiaries din sila ng cooperative. And they also exempted from taxes and it's less costly to form than a corporation. Disadvantage for a cooperative is that a cooperative is more susceptible to corruption. Bakit? Kasi nga, due to its management structure and lack of profit motive, the elected officers may be inclined to act on their personal interests. Now, also on the other hand is that second disadvantage, we have member participation required. Since cooperate nga yung root word, so kailangan mag-cooperate ang lahat. The success of a cooperative depends on the active participation and cooperation of members. So, it is difficult na i-sustain yung growth natin kasi nga, again, walang profit motive. A cooperative success strongly depends on the members' cooperations. And also, it has also a limited capital. wanting to raise a large amount of capital can be difficult kasi nakadepende yung funds mismo sa mga members ng cooperative. Now again, our forms of business organization consist of four. We have sole proprietorship, partnership, corporation, and cooperative. In this time, we will now divide the business according to its activities. Kanina, dinivide natin yung mga business according to its form. Now, again, it's a type of business according to activities. And number one for this one are the service companies that perform service for a fee, and yung main product nila, rather than physical goods, are the services itself. So that the people who consumes, who goes to the service companies are what we call the clients. Kasi nga, service companies. So example for this one are law firm, mga job agency, yung tawag dito, ano pa ba dito? Ay, yung mga salon, yung barbers, and yung mga school. So one of the advantage in terms of service companies is that you don't need to worry about inventories, warehousing, distribution costs. Kasi nga, in the first place, wala ka naman talagang inventory. You only have to worry about mga minimal supply. So for example, yung mga barber shop, yung mga supplies nila, o yung mga kailanganin nila. Pero yun lang yun. They don't need to worry about the inventory itself. Now, for the disadvantage is that you may not have flexible personal time because you need to be directly involved in providing a service to a customer. You can stock inventory but not the services. So, wala kang flexible time nito kasi kapag kailangan ka, dapat kang pupunta. Kasi nga naman, kapag may inventory ka, kahit kahit na okay, sige, iwan mo lang yan dyan, basta may magbabantay, okay lang. Pero kapag services, hindi. Kailangan mo munang pumunta doon mismo kasi gane, people are looking for the service that you are providing them. Okay? Now, one of the advantage also for a service companies or service businesses is that you may only need a small capital because what you are selling is your skill set and you only need yourself to render a services. If you are a manufacturer, you need to buy raw materials and machine to produce your product, which is true. So kapag service business ka, small capitals or small investments lang are the things that you need because it is also innate for you because you already have the knowledge and skills at the first hand because you are offering your services. But the disadvantage for this one is that service businesses normally suffer first from decline in demand during times of economic difficulties. This is because most services are perceived as luxuries rather than necessities for survival. So if you believe on the Maslow's hierarchy of needs, the number one thing that we need are yung pinakababa ng pyramid doon ay yung physiological needs. So, this most people perceive service companies are luxuries. Mas uunahin pa rin nila yung mga foods, 'di ba? Because this is the basic commodities of people to survive. Also have the merchandising companies. Purchase goods that are ready for sale and then sell this to customers. So one but that buys and sells goods without their changing their physical forms. Okay, pag merchandising companies, bumibili po tayo ng product from a manufacturer. Okay? Wala po tayong binabago mismo doon sa product na yun. Ang ginagawa natin, again, bibilhin natin siya from a one manufacturer or wholesaler at ang gagawin natin ay ibebenta natin yun. When we're talking about merchandising companies, there are two under this. We have first is the general merchandise resellers, just like the grocery stores, department stores, pharmacies, online stores, sari-sari stores. So, ang ginagawa nila, they are buying here from wholesalers and then, wholesalers, it can be wholesalers and manufacturers and they will sell this in their stores. Okay? Now, for the distribution and dealers, these are the wholesalers, vegetable dealers, second-hand dealers. So they are the one that buys from the manufacturers or the wholesalers themselves. So they distribute it. So examples, this one ay ito, yung bigasan. Okay? Now, again, when we're talking about merchandising companies, wala po tayong binabago sa physical form. Okay? Kung nagbebenta tayo ng sabon, so galing lang din to siya sa manufacturer. Pero wala tayong change doon. Okay? Now, for manufacturing companies, buy raw materials, convert them into products, and sell the products to other companies or to final consumers. Okay, when we're talking about manufacturing companies, dito na tayo nag-change ng physical form. Bumibili tayo ng mga supplies or materials from other businesses or from other suppliers, but we are changing the physical form of the products. So we are getting a lot of the ingredients, a lot of the materials from one part and then combining them and then making it into a product itself. So ang yun ang tinatawag natin na manufacturing companies are, and the example for this one are Toyota, yung Apple, and yung Nestle. Okay? Again, as a review, pag sinasabi po nating service companies, the one that they're offering are services. Pag sinasabi nating merchandising companies, they are offering products, but they don't change the physical forms. When we're talking about manufacturing companies, they are buying raw materials, they convert them into products and sell those products to other companies or final consumers. So they're changing one form of a particular ingredient, supplies, and then changing the physical forms and then selling it to wholesalers, selling it to distributors, or they can also sell it directly to the consumer itself. Okay? Now we're done with this one. Let us have a review questions already. Now, the first one is that, again, you may have to pause the video before answering it. Okay? Again, the first question is that, who are the internal users of accounting information? Customers and suppliers, government agencies, managers and employees, investors and creditors. Okay? We pause the videos, analyze this one, and then provide with your answer. Okay, when you're done, the answer is managers and employees. Okay? Let's analyze this one. Customers and suppliers. So, they are not internal. They are outside of the company. So, it's wrong. Government agencies, they are not inside the companies. Labas to siya ng companies who uses the accounting informations. Investors and creditors, nope, they are not inside the companies. They are outside of the companies. So again, the right answer is managers and employees because managers and employees are inside the the businesses. Internal users are talking about people inside the company who uses accounting information. The second one is that, okay, kayo na lang magbasa ng mga choices. What is an accounting period? Pause the video and then answer it. Okay, the correct answer is C, the period for which financial statements are prepared. Okay, so is it monthly basis? Is it quarterly basis? It's semi-annual basis or annual basis? So it depends on the companies. So when we're talking about accounting period, it refers to the financials. When are the financial statements being prepared? Kailan ko ba prepare ang financial statements ko? So this is accounting period. Okay? Let's analyze each of the each of the choices. The lifetime of a business. So it's wrong. Okay, we're talking about accounting period. This is just the period when the financial statements are prepared. The time when transactions are recorded, no, this is wrong. The time when taxes are paid, which is also wrong. Now, third question, which of the following an example of an external user? You may pause this video and then answer it. Okay, are you done? The correct answer is creditors. Okay? Creditors are an example of external users who uses their accounting information. Ano ba yung examples ng mga creditors? Those are, pause the video, and answer it. Ano daw? Sino ang ano-ano ang examples ng mga creditors? Examples nito ay ang mga bangko, banks. Let's analyze each choices. Employee, no, this is not an external users. This is inside the company. And therefore, it is internal users. Manager, inside the company. Board of directors is inside the company. Okay? Which business organization has only one owner? Okay? Analyze the questions and the choices and then provide me with your answer. So the answer is sole proprietorship. Okay, it's letter C. Okay, when we're talking about sole proprietorship, it is only owned by one owner. Isa lang po ang may-ari ng sole proprietorship. Pag partnership naman, two or more. Corporations, it's hundreds or thousands of individuals. Corporations, also hundreds of individuals. So the correct answer is a sole proprietorship because it's only owned by one owner. And the disadvantage here is that siya lang din ang may liable sa debt ng businesses. Kasi nga, pag nag-utang yung businesses, may utang din siya. Okay? Kapag nalugi ang businesses, so cargo niya yun. So there's no different distinctions between the business owner and the business. So, as one sila. Okay? Now, for the fifth question is that, which type of business buys goods and sells them without changing their form? Okay? Look at the choices. Again, which type of business buys goods and sells them without changing their form? The correct answer is merchandising company. You're right. When we're talking about merchandising companies, we don't change the form of the product. Bumibili lang tayo from wholesalers or the manufacturers and then we sell it directly to the customers. Okay? So the correct answer is C. A, we look at the different choices, service company, it is also wrong. Okay? Wala naman tayong change na form kasi wala naman talaga i-change na form in the first place because the things that we are selling are services. Manufacturing companies, mali din. Okay? We change the physical form of the product. Okay? Kasi ang sabi dito is without changing. So tinatanong is, saan dito ang hindi nag-change? So, dapat ang sagot ay C. So, mali ang letter B kasi nga, it changed the physical form. Cooperative, no. This is also wrong. So, from the word cooperate, it is in the benefits of one type of sectors. So, hindi po tayo gumagawa ng product dito. So, we are offering the benefit for one particular sector of a community. Okay, we'll go in for our summary of this introduction to bookkeeping. Accounting information is used by two users or two main users. These are the internal users, just like managers and employees, and also external users, just like investors, creditors, governments, and the public. When we're talking about financial statements, it's based on accounting periods, such as monthly, quarterly, or annually. And we also have accounting year. What are those accounting year? We have calendar year and fiscal year. So both of this one are composed of 12 months period. And it depends na lang kung paano nila gagawin or paano yung strategy ng pag-start ng accounting period nila. And then common forms of business organizations, according to its forms, again, we have sole proprietorship, partnership, corporation, and cooperative. Then we also have the type of business of business according to its activities. We have the service companies, merchandising companies, and manufacturing companies. Now we also have businesses that could be classified as service, merchandising, or manufacturing depending on their activities.